From the Detroit Free Press, it's Tuesday, December 31st. Here are today's top stories. Brought to you by JB's Smokehouse, located inside Bush's Fresh Food Market of Canton. JB's offers a range of authentic barbecue favorites, from beef brisket and mac and cheese to fried green tomatoes and pulled pork tacos. JB's is sure to become your new favorite barbecue spot.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Christy Tanner. Michigan's population grew by about 3,000 residents, just shy of the 10 million mark, as of July 1st, 2019. It was the 8th consecutive year of annual population gains since the 2010 census. The last time the state's population was 10 million or higher was in 2007, before the recession. These are the last state population estimates before the decennial census begins in 2020. The official census requires every resident to be counted in order to apportion seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. Based on the current population estimates, Michigan is expected to lose one House seat, dropping to 13 after the 2020 census. The decennial census is also used to determine how federal dollars are allocated to states, local governments, nonprofits, businesses, and others. Households can expect to receive information about the 2020 census and how to participate by mid-March next year. Meanwhile, census officials report they are still looking to fill positions, including about 4,500 jobs in the Detroit area. Go to www.2020census.gov/jobs to apply.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Taylor Morris. When it comes to the weather this week, get ready to usher in the new year in true Michigan fashion. After seeing days with temperatures as much as 20 degrees above average, it's back to winter. On New Year's Eve, watch out for more than just tipsy drivers on the road. Snow will make for a slick commute. But it won't last, with temperatures back well above normal, even flirting with 50 degrees by Friday. It all brings back that Michigan truism. If you don't like the weather, just wait a day.
This is Bisma Pervez with the Detroit Free Press. A YouTuber named Jeffree Star just donated $20,000 for a stranger's funeral. The donation was for Kevin Bacon, a 25-year-old man from Michigan. Bacon's sister set up the crowdfunding page to help with his funeral expenses. A Twitter user shared the donation page with Star because Bacon had several Jeffree Star tattoos. Bacon was obviously a big fan of the YouTuber. Star was devastated by the story, and apart from donating $20,000, he shared the page on his Twitter account. Bacon went missing on Christmas Eve after he met a man on a dating app called Grindr. His body was found on Saturday in someone's home. The homeowner is a 50-year-old man who was in custody. Michigan State Police suspect him of murder. The case is still under investigation.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Angie Jackson. John Albert Shalemba was just a teenager when he left home in Hamtramck to fight in the Korean War. He went missing in action in 1950. Now he will finally get a proper burial 69 years later. Army Private First Class Shalemba was killed while defending South Korea in July of 1950. He was 19 years old. His body was recovered, but it couldn't be identified at the time. Shalemba was buried as an unknown in the National Cemetery of the Pacific in Honolulu. The Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency, or the DPAA, disinterred Shalemba's remains in 2018. Scientists identified him thanks to dental records, chest radiographs, and other techniques. Today, the DPAA says that just over 7,600 Americans remain unaccounted for from the Korean War. Scientists continue to identify unknown soldiers using modern technology. Shalemba will be buried at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia.
This is Carlos Menards of the Detroit Free Press. Today, the Lions cleaned out their lockers. Headed to the offseason, General Manager Bob Quinn spoke with reporters, as did Coach Matt Patricia. Most notably, quarterback Matthew Stafford, who has had 2 different back injuries in 2 different seasons, spoke with reporters and said he was feeling good and optimistic. He said he could throw a football and he would be ready to go when the offseason program starts for players in April. Bob Quinn did not have a lot of answers for why the Lions finished 3-12-1. He mentioned injuries a lot, although he was happy with the depth that allowed them to play reserve players who are normally considered backup players and keep them competitive in games, stay close. They were in a lot of games. They held on to leads late but couldn't close out games to win. And he said they'd be looking at a lot of different reasons why that might be, but they didn't have a clear explanation or understanding why. And Coach Matt Patricia said that he was not ready to make any announcements about any potential coaching changes that might be coming. Defensive coordinator Paul Pasqualoni would probably be the most noteworthy coach who may be either being moved to a different role or relieved of his role outright. So stay tuned for any news on that front in the coming days, weeks, and months on Freep.com.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out Freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to Freep.com/special offer. See you tomorrow.